Okay, let's see here. Here we are. This is an '04, I believe. Sebring convertible GTC, whatever. I think it's an '04, is what she told me. Anyway, we're doing a heater core. As you can see, this is not a fun job. I've done a lot of heater cores. I am very fast at doing them for the most part. This is supposed to be anywhere between a $700 to $1,000 labor alone job. I misquoted this and said 200 bucks. I should have said 350, 400. Whatever. I think it can be done in a day. I ran into a few issues. Pretty much you got to have the entire freaking dash out. And this metal bracket thing, normally I leave all the plastic piece all on the metal housing on most heater cores to do them. But I took out all the vent work, lower dash, everything. Center console comes out, obviously. There's like 4 big bolts right here. Some bolts that go up underneath into this housing right here, which was, or no, actually, there's studs that go down off of this metal frame, and they go down in there, and there's little nuts on the bottom. Like 3 of them, I think, total. There is a lot of hassle. Unfortunately, there was, now they'll say that you have to recharge the AC compressor or AC system to do this. I did not open the air conditioning to get this heater core out. The heater core will sit. Whoops. Sorry about the herky-jerky here, but I'm using the cell phone to record this by myself. Anyway, heater core sits right here. I broke off one of the pipes just to make it faster and easier. They're plastic tubes, so when you put the new one in, you gotta be real careful. That's my biggest worry right now, is that I'm gonna fuck it up. Had a real hard time getting this top housing out, getting all the screws out. There's one screw you can't physically get. I don't see, let me see if I can't shine a light back in there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Way back in there, there is supposed to be a screw behind the evaporator here. I broke it off intentionally. I just was like, there's no way. Otherwise, to get the entire housing off, open up your AC, disconnect your two heater hoses, hoses there, and there are 3 screws that go through to hold this thing up against your firewall, that I can tell. Maybe if there's a 4th one, I couldn't find it, but one of them you have to get it from below. The 2 other ones you can get from above. The problem is there this freaking design. I don't know if we'll be able to see it here. Let me shine you a light. You see that right there? That's like a screw, kind of like a wood screw that screws into the plastic, and on the back, on the firewall side up behind the engine, is a nut, machine nut. And what ends up happening here is you end up having a little bit of rust on there. It chooses to unscrew from the plastic before it unscrews that damn nut off. So you can't just release the damn thing like it's supposed to. All 3 of mine, and this is after I WD-40'd them first, and I tried using an impact to zip them off fast. That didn't work. Wrenching them off slowly with a wrench, that didn't work. You can't really use heat because it's going straight into plastic, so you know it's just going to melt, and that's just going to defeat the purpose. So basically I just got this thing loose enough where I could get this thing out. Now I had to, probably one of the harder parts is I took out some of this little insulation foam padding right here in this one section because you need the clearance. Also, there is this nasty glue back there. See that tar looking shit? Yeah, it did not want to release. It actually held on really, really, really tight. Not sure what that was about, but it did. So, just for the next person who sees my video and says, "Hey, I think I'm going to try to do this shit. Malachi can do it." Yeah, well, I have a little more determination. Now, there was a little casualty on the housing. by doing it out this way. The alternative is cracking open your AC system. I did not open up the air conditioning. Let's see here. There's a little crack right here, as you can see, and that's really not a big deal. And then there's this one little piece of plastic which came out. Now I may try and glue this thing back together, or just run some, duct tape back on it. It's on the back side by the firewall. Not super concerned about it. It's just holds in over the heater core. So in fact, to put this back in, I may actually Dremel this little bit right out here so that it slides in easier and doesn't damage my new heater core. That is not the correct way to do that. This is a hack job. Do it right, and all the other bullshit. You get a lot of that. It's fucking YouTube. YouTube fucking comments are fucking what YouTube fucking comments are. Everybody fucking knows this, and if you get fucking butthurt over it, well, then you're a fucking butthurt. You just like being butthurt because you had to know going in what was happening. So, anyway, a whole lot of bits and pieces and parts. I think you could probably get got by not taking out this much stuff, or taking it apart as to the degree I have. I used to always do this for dashes. Now I don't do this much anymore because I found out that you don't usually need to do this much. Most of the time you're able to just undo it. You gotta undo your steering column. There's another video where some guy is freaking showing to undo your steering column, or to do this you gotta take out your airbag. You don't need to take out your airbag. I don't even disconnect the fucking battery on freaking cars. I'm not worried about airbags. I've done 50, 60 freaking heater cores. Zero have I ever had an airbag issue. If there is a coolant in here, there was supposed to have been coolant. I didn't see much, or I didn't see really any sign other than a wet floor on our driver's side, which I would have thought it would have leaked on the passenger side here, because that's the side that it seems to be leaking on. Through that little pivot hole for this right here, right where I'm aiming the flashlight. There's where it rotates. That's where I believe any coolant would have gone. Otherwise, it was pretty dry and clean in here, so I'm not too sure. She says that it was leaking coolant on the floorboard, so I took it apart. Didn't see much, and I don't know how much of this is from me pulling the heater core out or was already in here. Couldn't really tell until I had it all completely apart. So if anybody does this, just so you know, this is a really shitty fucking job. On a list of heater cores 1 to 10, 10 being the most difficult, this one's got to be fucking close to a 9 for me. Took me at least 4 hours of determined work to get this far, and I can do most heater cores that are supposed to be 6-hour jobs in less than 4. I just did one on a Ford Escape, and that was I think I did it in 3 hours, and it's a 6.5-hour job according to the dealership. So yeah, either way, once again, hope this helps somebody, and peace out, bitches. Yeah, I called you bitches.